The Olympic football tournament continued with the 7th day of action. This time, the quarterfinals, the first knockout matches of the tournament. This is for the men's side of the draw. 8 teams, 4 matches, all today. Let's review them and let's go into who is in the semi-finals of the men's side of the draw. So let's go in the order that these games were actually played. So first up, we had Morocco against the USA. I think I might have gone for a USA win with this one. And if I did do rather stupidly as it turned out, because Morocco absolutely battered the USA in this one. It was quite an even game for the vast majority of it. Rahimi scoring a penalty just before the half an hour mark to put the Moroccans 1-0 up. 1-0 at half time, it stayed, but after the hour mark, the floodgates absolutely opened as the United States tried to get back into the game. Akamauch and then Hakimi and then, Mawhoub? Anyway, yeah, he scored a penalty in the 91st minute to make it 4-0. Just an absolute rout in the end for Morocco. They go storming through to the semi-finals. They made the semi-finals of the World Cup. They've made the semi-finals of the Olympic Games too. And before anybody says, yes, I know this is the under-23 sides, I've literally done a video already explaining what the difference is between an actual senior team's international tournament like the World Cup or the Euros or AFCON or Copa America and what this tournament actually is. I know this is under 23 sides, but still it shows on the whole that Moroccan football is definitely on the rise. They're becoming a real force in international football. So watch this space for them. I'll be fascinated to see how they get on in the World Cup in 26. But yeah, they are through to the semi-finals of the Paris Summer Olympic Games in football. Next up, we had Spain against Japan. I think I actually did have this as a Spain victory, a relatively tight one, but as it turned out, Spain were well and truly the better side in this one. It was not particularly close, really dominating possession as they love to do. Lopez getting them off the mark in the 11th minute, and from then it was a bit like the USA match. It was pretty cagey, not too much happening really, but eventually that pressure from Spain did make a difference, with Lopez getting a brace, a second goal on the 73rd minute, and then Ruiz in the 86th minute, making it 3-0 to Spain. Spain go marching on to the semi-finals. They are, again, another team that are doing really well in the men's tournaments, winning the Euros recently, of course, so they are not to be underestimated in this. Next up, we have Egypt against Paraguay. Now, it seemed for a while as though this was going to go for a 0-0, but late on, Gomez managed to get a goal for Paraguay to put them 1-0 up, and they probably thought they were going to be through with that. Paraguay, of course, the side that got absolutely dismantled 5-0 in their opening game against Japan, looking like they could have made the semi-finals, but Adel in the 88th minute, they brought fire to the rain. Sorry guys, with a name like that, I have to make an Adel reference. But yeah, he managed to equalise for them just before regulation time ended. It went to extra time, and then after penalties, it was actually an Egypt win. 5-4 they won. I think they converted all their spot kicks in that one. Perez with the crucial miss for Paraguay, so they go through to the semi-finals, where they will be joined by France, who just beat Argentina. As I was watching it now, that game has just been completed. I will go into some of the controversies with this one because, unsurprisingly, it was pretty controversial. Mateta getting the goal early on for France, putting them 1-0 up. The crowd was so up for this one. These two have a real rivalry at the moment, with all the World Cup final and the Copa America, racist chanting. I've already been through that with Indo Fernandez. Yeah, these guys definitely have previous. I don't think they were particularly friends really before this, but definitely before the tournament, after the Copa America was completed, it was very much, the Flames were very much fan with that one, but yeah, the fans were definitely up for this one. It was a proper, France are the host, of course, but it was a proper home match for France. They really got them through this one. Argentina missed a number of sitters, to be fair. They really should have got something out of this. But poor finishing, and for France as well, poor finishing as well. They had a lot of opportunities and they did not really just see the game out in the end, not finish it off, but they did hold on for a 1-0 victory in the end. There were fights in the tunnel after the game. We weren't able to see what actually happened on the TV cameras, probably for the best. I hope that everybody is all right and there's no serious injuries or anything from that. But yeah, very much a grudge match with that one. Argentina bowing out of the Olympics. Olympic Games. Is that revenge? I think it's almost revenge, and it's not quite knocking him out of the World Cup, but it's still beating him in a tournament. And after everything that's happened, after everything that's been said about the French players from the Argentines, I would say I hate to say it, but I actually love to say it. Karma. It's karma. It really is. But yes, semi-finalists: Morocco, Spain, Egypt, and France. And I will go into my predictions for what's going to happen in the semi-finals and who's going to take home the medals in my prediction video. They'll be out at the same time as this on thefootballchronicle.com. And of course, for much more news and reaction to the Olympic Games, including the women's matches in the quarterfinals tomorrow, keep it tuned right here.